Hey,
you know.
what's going on, everybody? This your boy, the Dean, www.themandmindset.com, and I got with me, as always, as a surprise to you motherfuckers, you know she's the one and only, the first lady. Maria is here. Maria, what's going on, girl?
What's going on?
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you
I'm
doing?
good. I'm driving. I apologize if I cut in and out. I'm
Okay.
driving.
All right, so I want to talk about something that's very important. This is a great call, real quick. I got an email from a guy that wrote to me and said, I have a question. How come American women are so rude and disrespectful? I try to have conversations and they come up with excuses to get me away. He says, they say I'm married, I have a boyfriend, or they walk away from me in the middle of a conversation. Just rude. Then he says, foreign women don't do this, they're nicer. Why do American women act like this? So what I did, like I always do, is I asked him to send me his number because the thing is, guys, I can't answer a question until I hear what you do. So after a little bit of conversation with this guy, he told me that he's following this other quote unquote guru who told him to walk up to women, say hi, I like you, call me. But after that, he was told to say that he he said he has to tell the woman that he's going to the doctor, and then he asks some weird questions, and then he looks for something, one body part on her to say something disrespectful, and then he tries to then he's told me when they say no, he wants to be friends with her. So he was asking me this. So what I did was I told him that I told him what he was doing wrong from the get-go before Maria comes on. But I told him, when you go to the doctor, when you sell a woman, you're going to the doctor, that her first thing is, what the fuck are you telling me that fucking personal shit for anyway, number one? And what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you have herpes, chlamydia, gonorrhea? Why are you going to the doctor? That's what they're thinking. Then I told him the worst thing you could do is nag a woman, meaning that say something disrespectful. So we were kind of talking back and forth. And what I did was, Maria was nice enough to do a role play with him, and I will throw it to Maria or ask Maria questions. But this is what we're talking about here, guys. When y'all talk to these guys out there, follow these gurus out there that give you misinformed information, they don't show you how to approach women correctly, everything goes crazy. So Maria, let's talk about the conversation, the approach that he had. Now remember, I was just being quiet. So the first thing he did, the first thing he said is hi. And I said, you never walk up to a woman and say hi like you know her because you're a stranger. But anyway, so what was your take, or what did he say in the first bit of the conversation to you?
So he just said, hi, my name is, or he said, hi, man, I thought you were cute, wanted to come talk to you. And I was like, okay, that was fine. And he asked me what my name was. And so I told him it was Maria and asked him his name. And he said his name was Cornelius. And I said, oh, hi. And then he said, no, just kidding. It's Paris. And so I thought that was weird.
Now stop.
Why would he joke?
Right, let's take it bit
Go
by
ahead.
bit. Why
Okay.
why did that turn, what was good about that, and what turned you off, if anything? What, because again, we want a woman's perspective, because a lot of guys don't understand that they creep women out way before anything is going. I mean, to me, once he did that, I think he already lost already. But what was your take on that?
So yeah, he did. It was creepy because I don't, the world is so crazy these days. I don't know him. I don't know his. So for him to say one name and then say another, I think he thought he was trying to be funny, but it wasn't, because I don't know him. So I didn't know he was joking, and why would he lie? It just kind of threw me off. I didn't understand why he did that.
And this is what he learned from these gurus to do this. He thought it was funny, but this is why we tell you it's important. And I want to get your opinion of why it's important to stand on your name. This isn't high school. This isn't junior high school or elementary. You should be proud of your name, and you shouldn't make a joke of it, a corny joke as well, because to me, I call that a sidebar pickup line, because you're trying to be funny when you're not being funny because it's to me it was stupid. But what is your take on that?
No, I agree. It turned like had it been a real situation and that really happened to me, that would have annoyed me right away. I
So
would
that
have said, like, I would have shut. That would have been done. Like in my mind, I already would have wrote him off.
okay, so that would have been okay. So that strike one is okay. So that strike
Yeah.
one where you'd have been done, gone. Is
Yep.
done. Right. Okay,
Yep.
okay. So the next thing he said after he joked about his name, what happened then? What was the next thing he said?
He said, um, I think that's when he said I had small hands. Can you hear me?
No. He mentioned doctor. I think it was doctor next.
Oh yeah. He said I gotta go. Yeah, that's what he said. I gotta go to the doctor. I said, what do you have to go to the doctor for? Like something wrong with you? And that's the first thing I thought. And so I thought, does he have some? What's he going to the doctor for? Why is he telling me he's going to the doctor? And what's he going to the doctor for? Like, is he sick? Is something wrong with him? And I said that to him. I was like, is something wrong with you? And he's like, nah. And then he immediately went into me having small hands, I think.
Let's
I
talk
don't know.
about
The whole thing was a turn off, so I
let's
wasn't
go to
paying
the
attention.
let's go to the doctor thing. Like I said
Okay.
before, for a lot of guys out there, they want to do something called give themselves, I guess, value.
Mm-hmm.
They're under the impression that if I tell her that I'm going somewhere, that means I'm a busy person, meaning that she can see that I have a life. And what
But
I
the doctor, though?
right at the right exactly. But again, that's the bullshit that they are being told to say to women to approach them. And this is why a lot of guys get in and have the problems that they're having because women smell through this. So the guy sat around and said that. So to me, that was the worst. That's one of the worst things you can say, man. You never tell a woman that you're going to a doctor that you just met. Okay, so I think that was one of the issues and the problem. So after the after the doctor then he goes and says, you have small hands. Now, that is a neg. Now, if any of y'all don't know what a neg is, it comes from and stems from what is called the PUA community. And let me give you a definition of that real quick, Maria. A neg, PUA. What is a neg? Let me pull that up so I can tell you what is a. Because this is. So, what you're saying is that this is just where a lot of people are going wrong with. I mean, were you turned off by that?
The doctor thing?
Was it the doctor thing or your small hands?
I mean, pick one.
Okay, big one.
It was all of it. I was
Right.
turned off from the time he changed his name. Because again, we're not right, like you said, we're not in middle school. Like I'm an adult. I have things to do, places to be, people to see, and I don't have time for this.
So what a neg is really trying to push a woman down to give himself values. Okay, to give himself value. So what a neg is a backhanded compliment. Okay, used to bring hot women down a notch. Okay, uh, so they're mean or remarks to make her feel bad. Now, if you and they got choices of negs. They can if she's short, they'll talk about her hands, or they'll talk about her feet. They'll talk about her eyes. They'll talk about her nose. They say she blinks a lot. They will say things like "you talk too much." And I'm just Maria. I'm just reading these things, but
How is that a backhanded compliment?
but how is that going to get you a woman? I mean, do
Well,
you
obviously it's not, but
right? So the woman is going to be like, well, oh yeah, you sound so sexy, you can have it all. So like saying things like your nose wiggles when you talk, or what you're wearing, how you dress up, how you have lipstick on, and how you have big ears, or just talking about things about her they really feel like they feel better. So it was a neg. So okay. So after we did the neg and talked about your small hands, what did he discuss after that?
then he asked me how many siblings I had.
Now, how did you feel about that? Because I got something to say about that. But how did you feel about that?
Well, so he went from insulting me to asking me a really personal question that you probably don't ask somebody, the first time you meet them within the first three sentences. You don't ask them how many siblings they have. It's a weird, it creeped me out. That was
Yeah.
probably the creepiest thing he said because I didn't understand how it didn't flow. It didn't make sense why he was asking it. I didn't get it.
Well, personal information, but this is what a lot of guys do who don't know because again, he was always told to be dishonest. He was told to make things up to make himself look better. And I've
Hmm.
always said, and again, I mean, how you feel, how do you feel about a man dishonest? Because I always say, you women aren't stupid. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna say you motherfuckers are naive, a little naive, but y'all are not stupid because y'all probably heard it all before. What is your take on that?
Right. Well, that's what it is. I don't. For most women, it's a turnoff when guys try to lie because, again, women are pretty intuitive and they can read through that, the lies and the bullshit and the pickup lines.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just a turnoff. It's a
So
turnoff. No, you don't want to waste your time with somebody who's not going to be real with you.
1,000. Oh, absolutely. I totally
Right.
agree. So, and when you ask questions about family, that's too personal because, in my opinion, you don't know that person. So, and this is
Right.
the problem with a lot of guys. They throw shit up on the wall instead of just being real, standing on
Yeah.
your name and your principles. They don't do that. But I'm sorry. So then, what happened after he asked about the family and stuff?
Then he said, I believe, and again, this conversation was weird to me, but I think that's when he said, "Put- call me with your phone." I think is what he said. Call me with your phone. Something. I was like, I gotta go. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I gotta go.
Right.
And
Which
yeah,
go yeah, but which goes back to his email where he's saying that why are American women rude and disrespectful? But it goes back to me saying it has nothing to do with the woman because she didn't walk up to you. You approached her. You approached her. You started speaking to her. She doesn't know you from a can of paint. And it is what you say and what you do in that moment that's either going to trigger her to be in action where she's going to talk to you, give you a little dialogue, maybe a little bit of flirting, and then exchanging information. Or reaction, as in, get the fuck away from me, you creepy, weird loser. What's your take on
yeah.
that, Maria?
Honestly, I've done a lot of role plays with you, and I get hit on a lot. So that was by far the most creepiest conversation that I've ever had with somebody ever, ever. It was just weird. It didn't flow. And if we were in real life and we weren't role playing, I would have walked away after the small hands. I would have. I'm a nice person, so I probably would have stayed. Even though I wrote him off, I would have stayed after the name thing. But once he tried to insult me, because a real man doesn't have to do that. A real man doesn't have to make a woman feel bad in order to
To
feel
make
better.
to make himself look better. To make himself look
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Right.
So
So I would have walked after the small hands. I would have just said I got to go, and I would have walked away.
oh wow, yeah. And again, well, and let's just wrap this up because I mean I know you're busy and everything, but what is your take? What is it that you want to say to guys? Because like I've always said, I believe in courtesy. I believe in letting her know why you came over there. I believe in shaking her hand and introducing yourself. I believe in getting her name and then letting her know the why. What is the reason why I stopped you in the first place? Because I want to take you out sometime. And I believe in having a flow conversation. And like you said, you just hey, how you doing, Maria? What's your name? I want to give you my no, you lose. Or like this, how you doing? Pause. Pause. No, it's got to have flow to it. But what is your take
Yeah.
before I let you go? What is your take on all that?
On the conversation with that guy,
Well,
or in general.
both of well, we already talked about the guy, but in general, where these guys really need to be wary excuse me, of guys out there giving them bad information about talking to women.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
Well, the first thing guys have to know is a woman wants someone who's honest with them. That's number one. We don't want a line. We don't want all that. We just want you to be honest with us. Secondly, you have to understand that we're in a world right now where guys are creepy and there's a lot of bad things happening, and women are more on edge than ever because there's so many bad people out in the world. So you have to seem genuine. Otherwise, we're not going to give you the time of day. So those are my two things. Just you need to be real and genuine. And I agree with your approach. You have to just be honest, direct, genuine. Here's why I'm here. If you're interested, give me a call. Because it makes a woman uncomfortable when you ask for her number. Hey, can I get your number? You know how many times I've given out the wrong number because I was afraid to tell a guy no? I'll give him the wrong number. Just because it's an uncomfortable situation. And I don't want to give him out my number, but again, people are so angry these days that if you say no, they're liable to get mad. So I just give out my wrong number.
So also asking for your number is really asking for, because again, if he has your information and things don't work out, who's to say he's going to stalk you or run behind you or try to pull up your information? And we're in a time right now where, you're dealing with more weird, creepy guys who are insecure, who don't know what they want, and they're gonna throw shit up on the wall, manipulate, lie, cheat, and well, not cheat, but be deceiving. And
Yeah.
and I guess that you're saying that women are trying to be more careful nowadays because I guess based on the approach, when did you realize, last question. When did you realize that he wasn't in? I can't mess with. How many minutes or seconds into the said conversation?
As soon as I asked him what his name was,
and
he said it, and he told me the wrong name.
Okay, complete turn. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
well, but again, Maria, I just listen. I know you're busy, and it's very rare. But guys, it's very rare that we did this. But it was just I'm trying to let you guys see from the other side how this goes. This is why we have Maria or had Maria or trying to get Maria back to doing this because you guys have to learn that you are your worst enemies. The way you are approaching, how you feel, they see everything. Am I wrong here, Maria? Do you not see it all?
We see it all. Yeah. We get hit on so much, especially attractive women. I mean, all women get hit on, but especially attractive women. We see it all. So if you don't come at us the right way, we're just going to turn you down.
But a real last question: do you see it as? Because I've always said this: the way you are outside the bedroom is kind of like the way they see you in the bedroom. And if you're weird, insecure, scary, no confidence, that to you as a woman, do you look at that on the back end of what is it that you see?
Well, yeah, like the guy I talked to today that I role played with. He was very weird and clumsy talking, and yeah, you absolutely you connect that with the bedroom. Like, would he be clumsy in bed? Would he know what he was doing? He can't even talk to me. How is he going to be able to have sex with me?
Or turn you on in the company? Right. How is he able to text you? How the date is going to be?
Yeah.
How the first move is going to be? How Megan Allen? All these things truly run through your mind, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And last but not least,
yeah, the woman knows.
Last but not least, but if you were a gold digger woman, wouldn't you see this guy as an easy mark? If you were, not to say you're a gold digger, but
if he had money.
Yeah, if he had money, you can milk him for his resources.
Some men, yeah, you can. Mm-hmm. Not this personal one, but yes. Okay. Not this one because he was too creepy to even. He was too creepy to even milk for resources. That's how turned off he made me. But yeah, somebody who's kind of just boring and stuff, but they have money. If I was a gold digger, I could do that for sure.
All right, guys, with www.themanmindset.com. Make sure if you have any questions, send me a message at themanmindset@gmail.com. I'm doing everything I can to get Maria's ass back on here, but I can only take the crumbs she gives me. So, Maria, I just want to say thank you and everything. And I appreciate you doing the role play, but I think a lot of people are going to learn a lot from this conversation to know that as long as you're manipulating, lying, deceiving, and coming up with bullshit, this is why you lose. So I just want to say thank you,
Mm,
Maria.
no problem. You
Uh,
have a good day.
all right, you take care. All right, guys, we
All
out.
right.